What's up, YouTube world? This is your boy Alfredo Earth Pharaoh, back to you live again with another video, y'all. What I wanted to say is, this is a movie. This is a movie review I had did in 2019. It's called The Lost Boys, but I haven't got into like the storyline of the movie. So, it's this family. The mom, her name is Lucy. Not Max. Sam and Michael. They moved to Santa Carla. I think some part in California or something. She moved with her dad because she divorced her husband. And then I'm gonna just tell you guys, this movie is fantastic. This is my favorite vampire movie. So, anyways, back to the script. Back to the movie, the review. You guys know what I mean. So, anyways, yeah. So they had this they go to town. The dad don't live in town because he already knew about the vampires, but he never told no one because that's just how he is. But so they go to town late at night. Sam and Michael and the mom, they go to town. The mom's looking for a job because she just moved to Santa Carla, like I said, and then she comes across. Then Michael, he sees this girl he loves. Her name is Star, and the little boy named Letty. And then this is when you meet the motorcycle gang of vampires. First one is David, Marco, Paul, and Dwayne, and then Star. But Star and Letty, they're half vampires. And there's the Frog Brothers. And then the leader, the mom, was actually dating the head vampire. Because everybody thought David was the head vampire. But really, if you guys seen Lost Boys, the one with the glasses, the one who owned the movie store, was the head vampire. So, one day, Michael, he was talking to Star. And then, the gang had came. The motorcycle vampire gang had came. David said, "Where you going, Star?" And she said, "For a ride." And he said, "Star." And then he said, "You don't have to beat me, Michael. The only thing you got to do is try to keep up." So he went racing with them. He had failed, and he blamed him because he had failed. But really, you failed yourself, buddy. He didn't. He said, "Come on, Michael," because he wanted him to see if he can keep up. He didn't make him fall. The fool dropped by himself. So he punched David and everything. Then the other ones got off the bike, and Star was like, "No," because at this time Michael don't know who he's fighting. He think they just a bunch of dudes on motorcycles. Don't even know what's going on. So they take him back. They take him back to the cave. They start talking to him, talking about, "You're gonna like it here, Michael." And still, he not knowing it, picturing in his mind, they are vampires. And then, so they talking. Marco, he went to go get food. He went to go get Chinese food. They messing with him, talking about how those maggots taste, but really it was rice. But they just messing with him. And he was chilling. He like, okay, it's cool. And then that's when the bottle come. He thinking it's wine, but really it was David's blood. And Star was telling him not to drink it, but he did it anyway. He said, "Yeah, come on, whatever. It's not no blood. Yeah, you're just making it up." So he drinks it, and then he comes part. And then they dapping him up, say, "Yeah, Michael." They cheering him on like, "Michael, Michael, Michael." They cheering him on and everything. And then he drinks it. Then they take him somewhere, think on an alley or something, and then they jump off the bridge because he thinking, how the heck did they do that and then hurt themselves? He still not knowing they're vampires. So he do it too, and then the train come, and then they like, "Yeah, don't be scared, Michael," and this and that, and then they drop, and then he falls into the fire thing they fell into the clouds. I would say the clouds or the fog or whatever that make him become a vampire. And then the next day, he woke up in his bed, and then his brother came in there, Sam, said, "Mom's on the phone. She wants to talk to you." And then Mom want to go on a date with Max, of course. And then to meet the Frog Brothers. He was telling them, you know, you should watch this. You should look at this. This should save your life. Not knowing, because they know about the vampires. They say because there've been a lot of people missing in Santa Carla, y'all. A lot of people been missing. It's because of the vampires, of course, not other people. Cause yeah, nobody goes around sucking people's blood and stuff. But anyways, forget all that. So yeah, he do it, and then you see Max. They try to the Frog Brothers and Sam trying to test out Max because, you know, he's the head vampire, but they don't know that. They tried it. They tried garlic and they tried the mirror and see what it would do, but it didn't do anything to him because, of course, he's the head vampire. That didn't affect him, and he liked garlic, so it's like, okay, all right, it didn't work. So they thinking David's the head vampire. So then they took Michael to where show them how they really survive. And then he's sitting there like, what is going on? Like, why are we sitting here looking at a bunch of dudes, not knowing they are finna show him what they really are? So then, you know, everyone, they transform. They show, hi, Michael. And they said David said the initiation is over, Michael. It's time to join the club. And then they turn, and then they show, and they start flying in the air. And then they start snapping people up, and sucking their blood, biting them, killing them, doing all this stuff. And they telling Michael, come on. You don't want to miss this. Come on. Michael, come on. And he's like, no. He's turning a little bit, but then he just don't go and do it. So then they come back up, and they said, now you know what we are, and now you know what you are. You will never grow old, Michael, and you will never die. But you must feed. And then they start laughing. And then Star come. And then Star came and he said, do you know where David took me tonight? And he said, you drunk somebody's blood? Are you crazy? Because the only way to make you a full vampire, unless you make your first kill. If nobody knows that, bars. So she asked, can you help me and Letty? And then she just flew out the window. And then Sam said, don't kill anybody until we get back to you or whatever. So then they go to the vampire's cave. I don't know why, because they went to the cave because they wanted to see who the head vampire is so Sam can get his brother back. But so they go to the cave. Number one, you go into the vampire's cave while they're sleeping. That's number one. You on their turf at this point, so they have a right to kill you because you in their cave. So anyways, they go in there. They looking. They say it smells like vampires in there, so they go in there. They see Marco. They all hanged up in the ceiling sleeping. You know, they knocked out. So the Anchor brother, the oldest one, he stabbed the wooden stake inside Marco's heart. And he started hollering and then the other ones wake up and they shaking and he's hollering and then they open their eyes and they start talking and David said, you're dead meat. And then he jumped off the bar thing and then he started chasing them. He started chasing them and jumped. And then he grabbed Sam's leg and then they put him in the light and then all that. And then he said tonight, and then they prepared themselves. Sam tried to tell his mom, but she wasn't listening to it. She like, whatever, you're telling lies, nothing wrong with, because they talking about Max. But anyways, yeah. So they getting prepared. They go to the church. They get the holy water. They got the garlic. They preparing themselves, and then come nighttime, and this is when, because they killed Marco, one of the vampires, the younger vampires, and they didn't like that David, they woke up. He was mad as shit. His eyes opened up like vampires. He roared, and then they jumped, and then his nails was disgusting. So they go in there looking for him, and then the dog, I think his Nanook, so he was outside. They was coming, and then you hear Michael, and then they all come in there and stuff. Vampires kick him down, and then the Frog Brothers, and they talking about let's kill Letty and Star right now. And then Paul comes out. He's talking about, yeah, you're mine. You killed Marco. And then they say, yeah, you're next. And then he said, no, you're next. And then he see the garlic. He said, garlic doesn't work, boys. Try holy water, you different. So they splashed it, burned his face a little bit, and then here comes Nanook, the dog. He pushed Paul into the holy water, and then he started burning up, and then all the blood and all that. Then you see him deflated, go straight to bone, and then it was Dwayne. He blew up by a stereo. It was crazy. And then it was the fight with Michael and David. And David was like, Michael was blaming David. Some said, "You made me into a killer," and then he said, "You are a killer." And then they started rumbling, and he told Michael, "Stop fighting me, Michael. I don't want to kill you. Join us." And he said, "Never." He says, "Too late. My blood is in your veins." And he said, "So is mine." So he stabbed whatever. David is dead now. He's dead. And then that's when the mom and Max come home. Max go see David is dead because, of course, those are his kids, his vampire kids. So he was pissed off about they all dying. He's mad as shit about it. He said my boys had misbehaved. So after that, then they said, "I knew it. You're the head vampire." And then it just went off from there. Then Max wanted Max and Sam to be part of the family, and so the mom. So, Michael, he comes out and he say, "I didn't invite you this time. I didn't invite you this time, Max." And then Max started laughing. He like, ha, 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 ha. He turned, and then they started fighting. Max threw his ass up because, of course, he's the head vampire. Don't ever fight a head vampire because then they kill you. But anyways, forget all that. They started rumbling, and then they started fighting the head vampire. They pushed him down. They put the head vampire, knocked everybody down. And then Sam talking about, "Don't you touch my mother." And he had him in a headlock like this and stuff. And then Grandpa comes with his biggest wooden stakes. And then, whatchamacallit, what's his name? Michael, he wakes up and he sees the Grandpa. And then he pushed Max into the wooden stake. And then he blew into the fireplace. And then he blew up. Because, of course, he's the head vampire. Some of them will explode. Some of them will try to take you with them. And then at one point, Letty, he turned into a vampire too, but he was a kid. Can't really kill a kid because he didn't eat nobody yet. He just started transforming. So then they blew up, and then the Grandpa talking about one thing I didn't tell you, all about damn vampires. So he knew about the vampires the whole time, but he just didn't tell nobody about it. The whole time he knew about the vampires. When Max came to the house the first time, he knew that was the head vampire. But he didn't tell nobody. Nobody would believe that, correct? So this is why I love this movie, y'all. If you guys not have seen Lost Boys, I highly you know what I mean trying to say. I just check this movie out. That's what I'm going to say. I highly recommend you to check this movie out. My tongue getting twist-twatted. Yeah, whatever. So, yeah. This was a good movie, y'all. It came out in 1987, the same year as the original Predator movie came out with Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, if you haven't not checked out Lost Boys, check this movie out. This is my favorite vampire movie of all time. And I'm letting you guys know why. I went through the steps. Well, what I remember the movie, because that's what really went place. If you see Lost Boys, you're going to see what I was talking about. If you see that movie, you're going to see what I'm talking about. But except they don't get into details about the vampires in this one. But I guess they do it. I guess it's like a deleted scene or wherever. Their background, how Max came the head vampire and all that stuff and how they, yeah. But this is a good movie, y'all. I highly recommend you check this movie out. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.